Well, my name's Jeff Sailing. I'm the executive director and co-founder of Startup NV. I'm also a general partner in Fund NV in 1864, which are the funds that invest in the companies that come through our program. Thanks for coming out to Pitch Day for 500K. We've rebranded because we looked backwards at all the companies and all the investments that we've made. And guess what? We average about 500K, even though our fund invests 100K. By the time it gets matched and everything else happens, most of the investments are actually 500K or more. So we are now Pitch Day for 500K. And it's a great day to pitch. It's a great evening to pitch. Today, we're going to hear from Max at Swyftfin and Jim at Accelerate. And thanks for going through the process to get here and pitch with us tonight. On average, we look at 15 or 20 companies for every company that gets to stand up in front of this room to pitch. So thanks for going through the grind and getting your decks reviewed and all the rest of the stuff you had to do to get here today. Startup NV is Nevada's statewide nonprofit startup accelerator and incubator. We operate 7 programs for entrepreneurs and 4 for-profit investment funds. Government grants and corporate sponsors support our nonprofit mission in the short term. And over the long term, that mission is supported by accelerator companies that pledge a small amount of their equity and investors in our funds who donate part of the profit from their investments back to the nonprofit. Now, we run Pitch Day for 500K fortnightly on Wednesdays, and companies pitch for the Q&A that they're going to get from the folks here in the room and the folks online. And that also comes with an investment from Fund NV. And now that fund, that base investment of $100,000 is added to by our investor syndicate. And then that whole bunch of money is then matched by the state of Nevada. The state of Nevada's SSBCI program to average about $500,000. Since 2021, our funds have completed 30 transactions in 22 different companies, directly investing $9.4 million. And then partners like GoEd and others invest alongside us that have made that $9 million into about $30 million worth of investing. So that's where the average of about 500K comes from our direct investments, or about $1.5 million when you count those partners that also invest. Our $9.4 million worth of direct investments are currently worth $27.3 million. So those folks who are our partners are pretty happy about that. It's a pretty good track record for investing. Now, the lawyers make me read this next part. The founders are pitching today for investment from our venture funds and from our syndicate, which comply with SEC and Nevada certified investor regulations. We invite the whole community to come and attend for educational purposes, kind of like watching the hopefully kinder version of Shark Tank. So once again, the pitches today are not a general solicitation for investment because that wouldn't be the right thing to do. So our nonprofit work would not be possible without the financial help from grants and sponsors, the City of Las Vegas, Clark County, Governor's Office of Economic Development, the EDA, and the USDA are our main supporters, and thank you very much for that support. So just a couple of program notes before we get started. We are live on YouTube, and we're also recording this session. We're also on Zoom. We create 2 recordings for each company. One that's just the pitch. Hi, my name is so-and-so, and do you have any questions? That, unless you tell us otherwise, remains on our YouTube channel for people to watch later. The recording that contains that plus all the questions, that's private. Only our investors see that, and then our founders can share that with whoever they want. Now, we usually get a few hundred folks watching live and viewing the recordings afterwards. So you guys, founders, may get Q&A from outside of this session. And most of the time, that's pretty cool to get people tracking you down. Sometimes it's a little weird. So just be professional when that happens, when it gets a little weird. Please respond professionally. Each founder gets 10 minutes to pitch. Be sure to finish on time or we'll get the hook out. So that gets awkward. So make sure you finish on time. Maggie will give you warnings. You will hear her voice coming over the speaker. Questions go in the chat. So if you're here in the room and you have a question, please join the Zoom and type your questions into the chat. Maggie asks all the questions. We get through a lot more questions that way. And then we can consolidate the same questions into having it one time. From an announcement point of view, Max, get ready because you're about to come up here. So we have our Angel Envy program also happening right now. We had our second meeting last night. We are narrowing from 16 companies down to 10 over the course of the next week and a half. We have over 90 investors in our program this year. Right now, we have pledged about $500,000. Normally, we come to town and say, we're going to do a $200,000 investment in one company. But right now, we have about $500,000 that has been pledged. So we're hoping to invest in more than one company. So it's taking off. We're pretty happy with that. So those 16 companies that are pitching for the 10 final spots, eventually we'll get it down to 6. And that finale is planned for March 29th, Saturday, at Las Vegas City Hall in City Council chambers. So mark your calendars for that day to come out and join us and watch the 6 finalists pitch. And one of them is going to get an investment of at least $200,000. I think there's going to be a lot more money to spread around by the time we get to March 29th. All right, Max, are you ready? Come on up.
Great. My name is Max Haynes. I'm originally from Alaska. I just graduated with my master's degree from INSEAD, a global business school, and I've been working on this project since then. And I'm stoked to pitch this to you guys. And again, sorry for the cough. I've had it for like 3 weeks. It won't go away. Maybe some of you guys also have that, but bear with me. All right, Maggie. Go for it. Okay. Well, again, good evening. My name is Max again, and I just wanted to show you guys how me and my team are making it so easy for home improvement financing to be personalized and be done instantly. So you guys recognize this place. About 6 years ago, again, I'm from Alaska. 6 years ago, I was an outbound sales representative selling home improvement projects door to door. So I would go out in 120 degrees, knock on people's doors. If any of you have had that happen to you, you probably hate the people knocking at your door. That was me. And you know, despite all the yelling and the crap and the heat, I didn't really mind it. Well, why? Because I made a lot of money when I would sell these, right? But what I didn't care for was every time I would go to qualify a customer, they would say, yes, we're interested. I would go and qualify them, and then the numbers didn't make sense. And that was the one thing that was not in my control. I would spend hours the day before preparing for this client meeting. I would get really hyped up, kill the pitch, and then they'd look at the numbers and say, you know what, I'm not interested. So I'll show you what this looks like. So let's say you're looking into interior remodel, like your kitchen, for example. So you call a contractor like myself. I come to your house and I tell you and work with you on your vision. Okay, so it looks like something like this. And I tell you that this is going to cost between $10,000 and $50,000, which is about the average. And of course, you haven't saved this much for it. So you say, how do I get this financed? And I say, well, I have financing for you. So we fill out your application, and then I say, okay, great. Well, I'll come back to you tomorrow to tell you whether or not you've qualified or not, okay? This is the worst part for me. Why? Is because you and I are thinking the same thing. You, as soon as I leave, think, do I really want to get this done? Or you think, you know what, maybe the person I bank with actually has a better solution. And I know exactly that you're thinking that, right? So having done this multiple times for multiple summers, it is so painful for me as a sales rep to go and work my butt off, and then for something out of my control to happen and cause a cancellation. Well, not anymore. So right now, what happens is I have to wait for 24 hours by the time I leave you to get the results back. What this means is that, again, you're thinking, maybe I can get something else, and maybe you've even called another contractor to check out and give you a better quote. What I also know is that I don't have any idea about your credit profile. I have no idea whether or not you're going to qualify for something good, for something bad. I don't know if you just declared bankruptcy. What that means is that I have no idea coming back whether or not you're actually going to qualify, or if I have to spend another time renegotiating and hyping you up again, which usually means that I spend a lot of time and usually lose a sale, which is really the worst. So now we did a, excuse me, we did a nationwide survey about this. Surveyed over hundreds of home improvement sales reps across the country, and found out they're all having the same problem. 70% of sales reps lose at least one customer each month because of financing taking too long, or customers, or them not being able to provide their customers with sufficient financing. So what this means is that for just one person, that comes out to be $25,000 a month if you just close one person. For a company over the course of a year, that's $300,000 that you're missing. Now what happens if you, the sales rep, lose 2 customers a month and your company has 10 reps? Well, that easily adds up to millions of dollars. I'm through with this problem. And that's why, again, you're spending hours doing this every time that you meet with a customer. You spend at least 2 hours each time that you meet with them going over financing and renegotiating that deal with them. So you're spending at least 2 hours with each customer. Now imagine you're selling 5 to 10 customers a month. Over the course of a year, that turns into 6 full work weeks of wasted time. Working off straight commission, that's absolutely unacceptable. That's why we're introducing Swyftfin, a loan aggregator platform that allows sales reps to get their customers instant financing personally. So what this does is it's really simple. All we do is we allow the sales rep to get their homeowner qualified for and submit an application and apply one time, and we can see the results instantly. This allows me to close deals same day, reducing cancellation and saving you and me a ton of time. On top of that, it's customized to you based on your credit profile, allowing you and me to both see your options and for you to choose what's most appropriate for you. So this is what our product looks like. It's very simple. And very quickly, we just check different parts about the loan, tell you how much you want. Now we've validated our driver's license or our identification, done this automatically. We add some verification inputs to make sure that you haven't inputted anything correctly, which is also a huge problem. Then we allow you to put your financial information in that the banks need for credit applications. You submit once, you review your information with the sales rep, and then boom, within seconds, you see the multiple different options that are there available for you. After that, you click the loan that you're interested in, and those docs get sent right to you. So there are 3 reasons that this problem needs to be solved now, and I think it's a great problem to solve. First is the market is huge and ready for it. So our TAM is $151 billion, just accounting for the US. This is just accounting for the number of dollars spent on professional home improvement each year. Now, our serviceable addressable market is just the percentage who finance their projects with their contractor, which leaves us with about $4.9 billion. Now for us, we anticipate being able to capture about $17 million of this by year 3. Now, reason number 2 is no competitor is currently addressing this problem. Competitors are currently building products specifically for homeowners and not sales reps. Their solutions are complex and convoluted. And on top of that, they have a business model that actually makes it more expensive for homeowners and their interest rates. Finally, I've talked to hundreds of customers, homeowners, contractors, lenders, and this is what they're saying about this. They're saying being incredible to have, it would save me a lot of time, this would be a game changer, and this would be changing the lending industry for the better. So how do I bring this product to market and make money? Well, first, we start off by targeting a nationwide contractor called DeBella with over 800 sales reps. So imagine the savings. Now, the reason we do this is my co-founder has connections with the upper management, allowing us to do a pilot program here in Las Vegas. The reason we do that is we partner with nationwide contractors that have local offices or chapters, such as Mio Home, that allow us to target specifically our lending partners in an area, allowing us to foster relationships with smaller lenders like the Clark County Credit Union. And finally, targeting nationwide lenders like GoodLeap or US Bank, allowing us to scale as we move forward across their offices, across the nation, going through the same companies, allowing us to scale very rapidly. Now, after we do this, we plan on expanding across California and Utah, and then moving nationwide with these contractors. After that, we can pivot into the solar space, which has a very similar problem and exact same needs. After that, After that, we can foster and solve more sales rep problems by developing better CRM and ERP software for these guys, making our solution stickier. And finally, we can integrate vertically by championing financial services ourselves. So how do we make money off this? It's very simple. The contractors pay a subscription fee that just covered our variable costs for all the requests that they'll be making to the credit unions and so forth. But where the big money is made is charging lenders with the origination fee based on the loan size of all these loans. So if you're looking at a $25,000 loan, the commission on that is about $125. Now, if you have a company that has 800 sales reps, you immediately see if they're doing a couple sales a month, how big this gets very fast. So this allows us to not only this allows us not only to pivot very rapidly, but also scale incredibly fast, achieving our target by 2027 to hit our $17 million revenue range. Now, our team is more than apt and ready to build and execute on this strategy. From our diverse experience in software, design, and sales, and our appetite for risk, we are more than capable and interested and ready to take this on. So we first have already won a venture competition at this top business school that I mentioned earlier. My co-founder, Cade, has already started and exited his sales company that he started in Texas himself. And my developers, aside from living and breathing code, they love to sell and have sold plenty of software programs already. So already, we've secured $65,000 and are only looking for $185K more to secure a 15-month runway. What this usually breaks down to is most of our expenses being spent on development as well as sales and marketing. And what this looks like is we're valuing our company at $1.2 million post-money and are issuing stock outright. Now, I don't know if you know this, but 60% of your life is spent at home. And for this reason, I'm really interested and eager to build something that allows that to be the best time to be spent. So, and if I make some other sales reps some money along the way, like, so be it. But thank you for letting me do this, and hope you join us along the way. Thank you.
Thank you, Max. That was a nice presentation. Appreciate it.
Okay, thanks. It's over to you, Jeff.
Thanks so much. So thanks again for the presentations and for grinding through the coffee. Just a couple program notes as we wrap up here. Investors, if you're curious about how to invest in these opportunities or things like them, join our Angel NV group, which is going on right now. Go to angelnv.com, fill out a form, and you can join the, I think 90, that were coming in while we were sitting here. I think we're up to 95 or 96 people in the group now, and over $500,000. So if you want to learn how to do this early stage investing, it's a great way to do it. And you get to make a lot of friends and see a lot of really interesting companies along the way. We do have a pre-seed fund, Fund NV, which is the fund that makes the investments in the companies that you like, the ones you saw here pitching today, and our big fund, our $10 million seed fund, 1864. And then once you're in any of our groups, you're in our investor syndicate. You get to see all sorts of interesting deals come out, usually 5 or 6 or 7 of them every year. So just check out the investor page at startupnv.org and you'll find out lots more about that. And one last announcement, or a couple last announcements. So first, we're going to have another pitch day 2 weeks from today on February 5th. I believe that's the day. It's always on a Wednesday. It'll always be at 5:30. The next one is at Woven. That's the old post office building at Las Vegas Boulevard and Bridger. It's turned from an old concrete post office building into this gorgeous glass thing. I'm wondering how the HVAC is going to work in the summer because the whole thing is glass now. So, but it is really a cool looking building. I can't wait to see how things go there. And this is our first time here at this building, and we'll be back here. And we'd love to have feedback, best locations. You know, how did it look on Zoom today this time? Because we're in a different location. If you wouldn't mind just messaging us on our LinkedIn page at the Startup NV LinkedIn page. Tell us what you thought, how you liked it. You loved this location, you hated this location, you loved the parking, you hated the parking. The traffic was good, the traffic was bad, whatever. We want to try to figure out what our game plan's going to be, hopefully during the first quarter, so we can have that same game plan for the rest of the year. So we're going to keep asking you, how did we do? And please, please, please share your feedback. But be nice. Be nice. You know what I mean. So we'll be back at Woven in 2 weeks from today, and with 2 different startup founders. And until then, take care of yourself, and if you can, someone else too. We'll see you in 2 weeks.